Welcome to The Explainer. So today we're going to dive into a story of, well, it's basically a massive intellectual heist. We're going to pull back the curtain on how a philosophy that was all about mental freedom got systematically twisted over 2,000 years into a powerful tool of control. It's a wild story.
Okay, let's kick things off with this ancient observation that honestly feels like it could have been written yesterday. The human mind is precarious. The mind of the Tao is subtle. What does that even mean? Well, think of it this way. Our everyday mind, the one that reacts to everything, it's precarious, it's jumpy, but that deeper, intuitive mind, the mind of the Tao, it's subtle, it's quiet. It's like the difference between the chaotic, crashing waves on the surface of the ocean and that deep, silent calm underneath.
I mean, you felt this, right? Think about it. You wake up, you're feeling pretty good, the day looks bright, and then one text message, just one email, and bam, your mind is just completely hijacked. Suddenly your whole day is a storm of anxiety or anger. It just goes to show you how easily our inner peace can be, well, commandeered by something totally outside of us.
So what's the fix? The ancient wisdom here is brilliant. It doesn't tell you to fight the world or block everything out. Instead, it just says, firmly hold the center. It's not about building a fortress around yourself. It's about finding that unshakable core, that center of gravity inside you. Kind of like a captain holding the ship's wheel steady while the storm is just raging all around.
And here's where it gets really interesting. That personal feeling of being mentally hijacked, it's not just your problem. It's actually a miniature version of a massive 2,000-year-long intellectual heist. A whole philosophy that was designed to help you find your center was stolen and turned into a system for controlling you.
All right, so to really get the scale of this crime, we first have to understand what was stolen in the first place. Let's dig into Confucius's original idea, because it was a genuinely radical blueprint for human freedom. Okay, this right here is absolutely crucial. We have to draw a really clear line between two things. You've got Kongshu, which is what Confucius actually taught, this big cosmic philosophy about finding freedom. And then you have Ruzha, which is the political machine that came later and twisted those ideas into a cage for social control. They are not the same thing at all. In fact, one is a total betrayal of the other. So, what were these original ideas? Honestly, they were totally revolutionary for their time. Heaven and humanity are one. That means you have a direct line to the universe. You don't need a priest or an emperor to connect for you. The world is for all. That's a vision of society based on the common good, not just power for the powerful. And get this, ritual wasn't about rigid, stuffy rules. It was about finding a beautiful, harmonious rhythm with life. And maybe the most radical of all, education for all, which completely shattered the idea that only the rich and powerful get to learn.
So the main takeaway here is simple. The original philosophy, it was never meant to be a cage. It was designed to give people wings, to help every single person find their own connection to the universe and their own freedom.
Okay, so now let's get to the heist itself. How did this amazing idea of freedom get so corrupted? We're going to trace the steps of this 2,000-year-long hijacking and watch as those wings are clipped and the bars of the cage are forged piece by piece.
You can really see the progression here on this timeline. It starts pure, with Confucius's original vision of harmony. But then, boom, Han Dynasty. It gets hijacked for the first time to make the emperor look legitimate. Fast forward a few centuries, and it's forged into these moral iron chains, basically a set of super rigid social rules. And then, the final, most insidious step, it becomes a golden chain that people put on themselves. The prison moves inside the mind.
So, what was the core of the theft? It was this. Confucius said, heaven, this cosmic order, was for everyone. You could connect directly. The hijackers came in and said, nope. Actually, the emperor holds the exclusive patent on heaven. Suddenly, your connection wasn't direct anymore. You had to go through the state. The goal wasn't harmony anymore. It was obedience.
And this whole thing wasn't an accident. It was the careful construction of a hidden power structure. And you can think of it like a giant pyramid of control, where each new layer just makes the prison more and more inescapable.
So let's break down how they built this thing. At the very bottom, the foundation, you have Confucius's original pure philosophy. Then, the next layer up, they start using it for political control. After that, a class of scholars basically create a monopoly on it, like a spiritual dictatorship. Then they add the next layer, these moral iron chains, which are just social rules dressed up to look like cosmic law. And right at the very top, the peak of the pyramid, is the final lock, a system designed to make you imprison yourself.
And that final layer? Wow. It was called the School of Mind, and from a control point of view, it was absolutely genius. It basically told people, hey, are you suffering? Is your life hard because of poverty or injustice? Well, that's not the system's fault. Nope, it's your fault. It's a sign of your own moral failure. The problem isn't the world, the problem is you. Your mind just isn't clear enough.
I mean, how brilliant is that? It's such a clever trick. You take someone's righteous anger at injustice and you turn it inward. You turn a potential rebellion into a personal self-help project. The state doesn't even need to watch you anymore because you're watching yourself, constantly looking for your own flaws instead of questioning the system. The prison is now inside your own head, and you've become your own warden.
Okay, so that's a pretty bleak picture, right? If we've all inherited this massive, ancient pyramid of control, how on earth do we get out? Is there an escape plan for the 21st century mind? Yes, absolutely there is.
The very first step, and it's the most important one, is just to see the cage, to recognize it's even there. This isn't about blaming people from the past. It's about seeing the hidden architecture so you can start to dismantle it in your own mind. It's about reclaiming your own mental sovereignty, right here, right now.
So here's a roadmap for reversing the hijack. Step 1, break the spell by seeing the pyramid. Step 2, go back to the source, bypass all the distortions, and connect with that original cosmic idea. 3, cultivate real awareness, not the self-blaming kind, but true open awareness. Then, you live your truth by uniting what you know with what you do. And finally, you find your flow in the universe. You merge with the Tao.
And you know what the best part is? We are living in the perfect time to do this. That old, top-down pyramid of control is starting to crumble. Knowledge isn't locked up by some elite group anymore. Power is being deauthorized. Thanks to the internet, we can go directly to the source ourselves. We don't need someone to tell us what to think. The whole game is changing from a rigid hierarchy to a massive, interconnected network.
And that really brings us to the key takeaway. Yes, the hijacking was real. And yes, its effects have been felt for centuries. But the original source code is still there. The true greatness of Confucius was never the cage that others built using his name. It was the wings he left for us. The idea that every single one of us has the capacity for true freedom and connection.
So, I'm going to leave you with this question. We've seen the historical cage, the one built over thousands of years. But what about right now? What are the cages being built in our own minds today? Seeing the history is one thing, but the real question is, what are you going to do to find your wings?